What's going on, guys? New article today for Destiny. Basically, what this article is talking about is we're talking about the new starter sets that are coming out. For some of you, this is kind of a little bit of overload because there's so many starter sets available right now, right? You still got the original two, and you get the two-player starter, and now you're getting these new starter sets. So that's it could be a little bit much, but this is a really cool way to get certain stuff, especially Boba Fett. We've already seen that Boba Fett's coming in there, but this is a closer look at Boba Fett, his card himself. And you can basically, his special is deal damage to a character equal to the value showing on a die, yours or an opponent's. So it's potentially very high, especially with the new indirect damage. We have the veteran stormtrooper. We've seen him already. We got the 2 blanks, which is all right for a stormtrooper, but you do have a 3 damage side on here. The indirect damage is generally going to be higher than we've seen normally, and you can have more damage sides this way. But indirect damage is, it can go. Basically, your opponent can put it wherever they want, so they can put it on their shielded side. And this is also combos well with the new FAQ for Destiny, changing things like Vibra Knife, the Vibra Dagger rather, in that it's only modifying its own attack or the die that it modifies. So shields are actually a thing now. Not everybody's going to be running Vibra Dagger and poof, all of a sudden your shields are useless. So big changes. And so if you're not familiar with the new FAQ, check out Crabbok.com. I have an errata list there. And I have it for different games like X-Wing and Armada as well. But I did recently add a Destiny section. I'm putting a link to the FAQ, but I also have images of some of the more recent errated cards and what they should be. And I'll be keeping that updated as well. But yeah, so I just added that. The cool thing is we get a new version of the Slave 1, so that's pretty nice. It's got 3 damage sides, which is cool. You got a lot of the indirect damage, and it's got the power action. So power action, once you can do it once each round. So re-roll one of your yellow dice, then you may remove an opponent's die showing a value equal to the value showing on the die you just re-rolled. So um, nice to be able to re-roll a die anyway, and it gives you two. So it's kind of like, it's almost like 2 in 1. You're getting two kind of abilities in one there. So that's the Slave 1. And now we got wrist rockets here. You get your 4 indirect damage, yellow character only. So there's that, but it has a special, and some of these aren't super powerful because you've got 2 different damage types, so it's harder to combine them into the same action. But this deals 2 damage to a character, and then you can spend a resource to deal 2 damage to a character. So the cool thing is there's nothing that stops it from being the same character. So that much is pretty cool. Locked and loaded. All right, we spot a red character to turn up to 2 of your dice to showing sides showing indirect damage. Great card to combo with this new stuff, especially since there's indirect damage sides of 4 and higher. So that's it's gonna be great. Costs a 1, or costs 1, but there's plenty of indirect damage that's gonna be coming in this new set. So this looks like it'll be a potentially pretty good card. We do have Crash Landing here. Remove a die showing damage, any kind, then deal indirect damage to yourself equal to the value showing on that die. When it says yourself, that means you as a player, you get to decide where that damage goes. So you can put it on your characters that have shields. Shields are going to be a much more of a thing this next wave. We've got a new Battleground here where you can force an opponent to lose a resource. And we've got the baby want to come out here. Hold on. Lando's going to join me for the rest of this one. All right. So yes, we're gonna have him. He's around. So another look. We've already seen the Luke Skywalker, but he's a nice card. You can potentially do 4 damage with him. I like that from a single die. The new Han Solo. We've already seen that. You get not as good as the old Han Solo. What are you doing? What are you doing? Here. Hold on a second. I gotta give him something. Here you can have some scissors. No, I'm not gonna give him scissors. I'm gonna give him my phone. No, that's gonna go well. All right. Force focus is interesting. So we got 2 special sides on this one. It costs 2, so cards that cost 2 are generally nice because you can potentially play them first turn. You have to spot a blue character, but it doesn't have to go on a blue character. And the special here allows you to turn one of your dice to any side, and you can reveal a blue card from your hand to turn an opponent's die to any side. I think this is a good card for resources because it's got 2 resource sides, and so a lot of the new blue stuff is very expensive. Or at least a lot of the stuff that we got in Empire at War is very expensive. So this might be a nice card for those resource-heavy decks. This one I love. I love this card, Heirloom Lightsaber. And if it's on a blue character, it has redeploy. You don't have to put it on a blue character, but wow. So check it out. 3 damage sides. None of them are modifiers. This is just awesome. It costs 3, but that's fine. You've got redeploy, and you're almost never gonna not be able to use this card. It's got a 1, a 2, and a 3 also. So good damage on this thing. New Millennium Falcon, which is kind of cool. We're getting the theme. And this one's got 3 damage sides as well. And after you activate the support, you may activate one of your characters. So you can do the Falcon and then boom, roll Han right away after that. Impulsive. This is a pretty interesting card too. It's a 0 and it's ambush, and you can resolve one of your dice. So just basically a free excuse to take 2 actions as long as the first one is to resolve a die. And then Mazza's Vault, we've got it's a 0 cost and it's unique, and each player gains an additional resource during the upkeep phase. The cool thing about this is it's going to give your opponent an extra resource as well, but it's free. So it's like if you are running a resource-intensive deck, if your opponent is also, and this is going to help them more, you just don't have to play it. Maybe you just discard it. What are you doing? So, but it's one of those things. If you draw it and you are running resource-intensive deck, and your opponent is not running like a resource-intensive deck, then you have no problem playing it because this is going to help you more than it's going to help them. And then we get another now Hutta claim, gain a resource and draw a card. And this one is interesting because this is one that claiming could actually hurt you if you're going up against like a mill deck, because to claim the battlefield you have to draw a card. So it might be a situation where if you're going mill, maybe you run this because if your opponent claims it, it potentially gets another this guy. So you might end up just passing and not claiming. So that much is interesting. But a cool new article showing the new decks. Not a whole lot of like huge stuff here. But it'd be kind of cool to have new versions of the cards, and it does also look like we're getting a new R2D2 in there as well. So that's cool. And it looks like he'll be a blue support, is my guess. Unless it's not R2D2 at all. But that's about it, guys. So big stuff. Check out Crabbok.com too. I'm going to be covering Destiny a little bit more, especially with now the new hope that it's going to... New hope? That it may eventually end up digital at one point, which is a totally separate discussion that we can have on... But let me know in the comments below. Would you play Destiny digital? Would you, if you're not playing the physical game, would a digital version make you want to try it out? Or if you are playing the physical game, would you do both, or would you stick with one over the other? What would you prefer? But I'd love to hear about it. I would like to play the digital game probably more than the physical game, because when I can play a physical game, what are you doing? But when I can play a physical game, I usually would rather play a miniatures game. And Destiny would be more fun to play digitally, I think. Just because of the deck management and deck building, I would only need 2 versions of any given card to have multiple decks saved. I think that would be cool. And I liked that about Magic the Gathering when I played that online. But let me know, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry about the interruption here, but, little dude wanted to come and get in the video too. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.